open with these options so far in terms of where they're gonna go. Perhaps the last pick of Entity will then truly reveal what Secret will do. There is definitely an overlap in Razor and TA in terms of what they do. They're somewhat similar heroes, right? Very single target. They rely on their BKBs. They have like timing, like a clock on their team fights. That's what I like to call these heroes. So in the last pick, we're gonna look for a very different archetype of core hero for Secret.
Look what Entity hero would gap that
Team Secrets turn to ban.
Fulfill out there. Played hero really.
Yeah. I mean, for now, it would seem that Entity believe that this is just a TA mid, which is it's a good matchup against Invoker, always has been, and I assume that it always will be. Not whether it's Quad Vex or Exort, I don't even think it makes a very big difference here. As Secret are just gonna take out, they should be looking to take out these ranged offlaners that lane well with Earthshaker, so that again Earthshaker enables you in the lane, and then with you being strong in the lane, this then allows the Earthshaker to roam around the map a little bit, because that again could be the tipping point in this mid lane to the TA potentially getting pressure.
5 seconds remaining.
Ban will throw the way of Chris. Hero pool.
I mean, I know that the lane can be very hard, potentially, depending on Entity's pick, but seeing that there is a Venoban, it's not too crazy because it's Entity, but Faceless Void is still very good for Secret. I am a little scared, at least, without seeing Entity's hero, in terms of how well that lane would go, because you most likely do have a +5 Centaur with you, but it is an incredible Faceless Void game. It's the type of carry that would even allow the Razor and TA to still play their game very well. You know, you have the Chronosphere. It's an incredibly good time dilation game. And there's only an Earthshaker. Invoker can be somewhat annoying and Shaker, but if you can play around these heroes somewhat and you have heroes going in for you, it can definitely work out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Right.
Team Secrets turn
Not every
to ban.
draft we do see Void get left in until the last couple of picks, and it will be available. Consider it Sniper. The final ban from Entity. What else they want to remove from the
10
flame
seconds
potential of Entity?
Visage is
5
already out,
seconds
Viper
remaining.
is out, Venomancer as well. Bad Rider, another ranged offlane that you could pick, but that one gone
Radiant
too.
team
I mean, what sort of range offlanes are still in?
At this point, if you really do
Turn to
want
pick.
one, it's gonna be a quirky one. It's Chen.
Wait, so I mean, this is going to be offlane Undying, right?
Honestly, I'm not certain. At this point, I'm not sure. I believe that they play offlane Chen.
Okay.
They might, probably, again, it's gonna
10
come up to the last pick of
seconds
Secret, so that's gonna throw it off a bit. This makes Faceless Void a lot worse, in my
5
opinion.
seconds
Sure.
remaining.
He does not lane, if it's a Chen, you don't lane well into him. If it's an Undying, I believe you don't lane well into this hero either. The Illusion heroes are somewhat covered by Shaker. Strange. Trying to think here what they want to go for.
I speak for the
You may now
trees.
select your heroes.
With the profit, so we'll see what that means, everyone. Where everything's going to go here for both teams. Yet to see the reveal from Entity on, you know, who's going to be taking which here between the support and the offlane. And,
You want
it
the
will-
Chen, yeah.
It's going to be offlane Undying, Toby. And
If it was, if they had gone for a carry profit, then I believe there would have been a higher chance for Toby to actually be playing the Chen.
Yep.
But I think either way, with how the lanes will go, you want the Chen to go to the Nature's Prophets lane, because again, Chen lanes really well in lanes where you can take over creeps, right? Especially if it's your enemy summon, so that's gonna be very good for them. And other than that, I'm very hyped for this early game. Even though some of these heroes are very static, the Shaker, Chen, they're gonna have movement around the map. They're gonna be freed up for sure.
Absolutely. And overall, who's come out on top here, Kezu? I mean, you're looking at the two lineups. What are you liking? Are you again going to, you be able to believe in the sort of the innovation that Secret's coming in, this Centaur Warrunner support that nobody else is playing right now? Is it gonna make the magic happen here?
I feel like the Secret Tricore is very strange, at least to me. I can see why they went for it. Nature's Prophet, very good against Morphling. Though I kind of like what Entity have. I think it is very much their bread and butter. Even if they haven't played this much Morphling, Pure is an incredible morph. It's a pretty good morph game. He is laning against Nature's Prophet, but again, he is covered by his support, the Chen, who's gonna make this lane a bit easier for him. So have a game, really.
Right, well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're just getting ourselves into this one. Game 1 of the best of 5 here. Team Secret versus Entity, fighting for that one spot that will take you direct to the International 2020. Here we go. Started off. I'll smoke up outside of the base to try and position. Vision. Same time. And in terms of the early lane matchups, are we going to see any sort of matchups try to be forced by either side?
I wouldn't say necessarily forced, but it is definitely nice, as I touch on, if the Chen is against the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
Top lane by default should be super favored for Secret, at least as far as I'm concerned. You have 2 melee heroes, the Shaker Undying against Razor. Even the fact alone that it's a Razor carry against these heroes will make that lane very good. He has a Pulse 5 Centaur, which again, I don't know how good this hero is, but if your carry has a good matchup and then you're the Pulse 5 Centaur, I'm sure the lane will be absolutely fine for you.
Let's see. So far in this run,
The battle
qualifiers,
begins.
Entity got a single game. Flawless. Secret, they've had some highs, some lows as well. Make it here. Important. Long day, but a bit of warming up will work in their advantage.
They've at least got the momentum on their side, for sure. Yeah. They've been playing the whole day and like smashing people with some, doing some good stuff with your Centaur. It definitely also shows that their preparation has been working out. I'm sure they also have heroes in this game that they feel good about. And also something to definitely keep an eye on is going to be this mid matchup. I know that it is at least supposedly TA favorite, and I don't think this has changed. So also we'll need to see if Nietzsche will continue to have a good game, as he has done pretty much all tournaments so far.
They've been incredibly reliable, Nisha. Their performances. Many a game here for Secret. Matchup top lane. Down Katomi. Seen this a few times now from a few teams. So what's your thoughts on Undying in the core role? What does this sort of enable in the hero when you're given this priority?
The hero just seems to lane very well with the new decay, where you don't lose this HP, and also you push out waves really fast with this hero nowadays. You have a little higher damage later on, then your decay deals more damage to the creeps. But it's overall just about the levels and the tankiness. You hit all these timings like a lot faster. Your laning stage is really amped up, as you can see even up top. They're playing this double melee lane into Razor, but they're applying a lot of pressure. They're ahead in the CS, and Chrysalis is already on 40% HP in this lane.
Consistent spam here from Toby. Very, very low. Katomi also able to grab the creeps. Able to make them meet.
Radiant's courier
It takes a lot of damage for it. We'll be able to snipe his courier. Get out after delivery's been made.
That's mine.
Right. So far, pretty good. 8 for 5 here on the last hits and denies. Sort of pressure so far in this lane. I mean, will this change, or does this just sort of be a pretty safe lane for the Morph to farm in? Is there ever really any potential threatening Pure?
I would say that the only real way for them to change, we have a little bit of harass top, is around the time where Reza gets level 3. Because, sure, he will still steal a Treant, but you have one more. So instead of just having one, you're going to have 2 Treants, so that's going to help a little bit. But unless Secret get to apply pressure within like the next 2 minutes of him getting that second level in Treants, then that lane later on doesn't really become much better. Sure, you will pressure the tower a bit with Nature's Prophet, but if in the next 2 minutes they don't shut down Pure, they will not do it afterwards either.
Did you sort of see any potential for any of those early moves to add an extra hero to the mix in any of these side lanes to try and catch out any of the cores early?
So Stormstormer is playing an Exort build, so there's not too many moves that are gonna go into the mid lane, I believe. At least not from Entity side. Secret could look for plays later, and they definitely want to. When you do play this Nature's Prophet in the offlane, it's one of the most tempo-reliant heroes in the game, which means if you have plays to speed up the game, it's very good for you. Like, Tusk can potentially roam mid, and then Nature's Prophet can go there. But Entity don't really have the same option. They can look to counterplay with the Earthshaker. So I would say the only real place we're going to see is that Secret should really be eyeing this mid lane later with Tusk and the Nature's Prophet rotation.
Far in the mid. Steam for 12 against their 14. Creep being denied in the mid lane between the two. Stormstormer just a little bit more from Nisha. A few guys in there as well, of course. Top lane. Plus 16 and 4. Well, now enemy. Basically dead even on the top lane.
Whoa, mid lane.
Take Stormstormer down here. Ice Wall. Quite able to stay on top of him there, but an early attempt here to bring down the Invoker Rezo. Showing his face. Shiver. Stormer's going to be fine. Survives the attempt. He'll be able to continue to CS in the lane if Rezo has to step back to bottom. You get a here. They've trapped in Fishman. Goes around to help out though, and Zayat is very, very low. Pure waveforms in. Get the kill, but not before on the other side of the map. Crystallis was able to claim that first blood, taking down Toby.
Looks like they must have clipped the Undying top, maybe with a slow into the Centaur Stomp. Looks like the eventual pressure of top lane is too strong from the Razor. I mean, I was already a little surprised how well the Undying was doing, but I think with the changes, it's not too crazy that he was doing good for like 4 or 5 minutes now. The Secret get this eventual kill on them, which is great. In the meantime, Pure gets himself a little kill on bottom too as Fishman here.
Trapped, and Pure can really do in time to be able to help out. Secret find kills now in both side lanes. 6-minute mark.
I like what Zayat is doing here again in the enemy jungle, especially around the 5-6 minute mark, nighttime. Not only do you get to go in like an aggressive area to scout things out, you get to place vision, which he just did, and you can potentially set up the play around mid that we've already touched on. You do have the TA traps now, and we all know Exort Invoker not really the best at protecting himself, if at all.
Try the earlier movement. See this focus around the lane. Coming in, Rezo. Look for the setup here behind the tower. Backup is here, Entity. They've got Fishman and Katomi.
I have bunting for you.
Ready once again to just make sure that Stormstormer's going to be perfectly fine. They'll get a bit of damage done to the tower. Pressure at the Treant, Secret. Same time, top Puppy. Trying to fight Toby here. He really wants the tombstone, but he's taking a lot of damage for it.
Oh boy.
And will lose his life for that one. Back in the mid, Nisha also gets caught. The ice wall gets laid down. He's not able to escape. That's a big kill in the mid. And on that top lane, a very easy kill there for Toby.
Well, definitely nice plays from Entity all around the board. I do think the way that Secret engaged the mid play in both times has been less than ideal. I feel like they're forcing it a little too much. I like that you can see that the idea is there and they know what they want to play for. But I believe that currently at this point they're trying to do it a little Like they're not patient enough to make the play, and then in the meantime, Toby, he drops his Doom top, gets out a little bait, and actually gets a kill on Puppy. That was pretty interesting too.
Ah, he's going to be very happy with that one. I mean, you see at the moment, second highest in the net worth here, Toby on the offlane Undying. Very much showing its strength, even in this matchup where the hero against a Razor. He's just not, you've not felt any sort of pressure from that whatsoever.
No, not at all. His item build actually is very cool. On Undying, I think he just understands, okay, it's a type of lane. You will not beat Razor by right-clicking. So he has spent all his money on mana regen, which is not just good for him, but also for his Earthshaker. So, Sage Mask, Basilius, Raindrop, now Arcane Boots. Just very good build for him, completely understanding the matchup that he's playing into.
Make a go on him now. Tombstone has the ult, so there's going to be any sort of help for him. Fisher comes into play, trying to heal up with the Soul Rip. I have a chance of bringing Chrysalis down in return. Catoby's in with the stun. Indeed, they'll be able to find the trade. Puppy is sort of trapped in it, trying to find a way out, but the zombies are building up upon him. Catoby stays on top of him as the zombies, they're killing him off. Toby gets the double kill. I mean, this top lane is turning into a bit of a mess, but a bit of a beautiful mess, I think, here for Toby, as he'll happily go down for that one.
I mean, Owen, you asked me why they play offlane Undying.
I mean, this is why, yeah. I mean, Secret just don't, it seems like they don't really know how to deal with it. It's just working at a pretty deadly level. 3 kills now for Toby in this top lane. You got to be careful. You don't want to mess with this man. If you try and go for the kill, you're going to both die.
Yeah, Undying is just the type of hero where you need to truly understand whether or not you can kill him from full to zero, because if you don't, it's just a situation where you will get turned around on, right? He's gonna pop his ult, get some HP, heal himself, drop the tomb. So I feel like right now Secret are trying a little too hard to make their plays work. And now, since some of their last plays have failed, I don't really blame them if they feel a bit of pressure right now, because Rezo is not too happy on the Nature's Prophet yet. He's going for an interesting build, which is the Vessel Rush, actually. Considering that he's playing against Chen, Morphling, and Undying, I can definitely see this one work out. So he's going to look to get involved a little bit. But if he wants to have a good timing on this Vessel, Secret need to hit a few of these moves.
Sure. Oh yeah, already the early network lead starting to favor towards Entity. Got Puppy. Pretty dead here, Cold Snap. Enough of a setup for Entity to clean up another kill top lane. Aggression from Zayas and Chrysalis, but not able to find a kill out of this one. In fact, they've got to roll away. Katomi is able to get a fantastic angle, blocks off the escape of Zayas. This top lane is going to end another kill here into the hands of Toby's Undying.
Entity are moving the heroes very beautifully around the map right now. So now seeing that Pure has had a very good early game, and similar to what I said, they didn't get to pressure him with the one Nature's Prophet timing they had, and instead he is now very farmed on the Morphling, and he can protect his bottom lane for a long time. Remember back in the draft where I said that their cores are very similar? Well, they picked a third hero who's basically one of that. They don't have too many rotations around other than Nature's Prophet, and now that they defeat the fighting, you're not going to have Nisha run bottom and help Rezo to take this tower, so Pure's just going to live rent-free in this bottom lane and just farm everything.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely concerning if you look at what Pure's been able to get away with down here. Yeah, top net worth by a clean 1,000. You know, the CS far ahead of anyone else. Yeah, to complete free farm here on a Morphling. And we've seen many times kind of what consistently happens when Pure gets complete free farm. Very little teams stand any sort of a chance against it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is a pretty good Morph game. So now, though, for Secret, at least on the flip side, Nisha is still doing very well on the TA. The TA Morph matchup is a little bit weird. If you have help from your team as the TA and you force the Morphling to have to strength up, it's pretty good because he loses more armor, then you start hitting him with the Death Zone, you can actually be pretty scary. So right now, since the game is not as good as Secret would like it to be, they should look to Nisha, help him get this Desolator, and then look to involve his hero a little bit and help him get involved in the game. Because right now, he can't. His objective is going to be to farm.
The mid pressure here coming from Entity will succeed. taking it down. We'll see Puppy from the Stampede. They've got a snowball coming in as well. The ice wall will be laid out, though. An Entity, they're ready to turn this fight around. The slam goes down. They've taken out Puppy. They'll get Zayats as well out of this one. Secret, they've got to run. There's no fight to be had here.
See ya.
I mean, yeah, Pierre, can you finish this off? Oh, nice Sprout. Rezo will be able to block off the morph momentarily, but the waveform, it's still going to be able to close the gap. As Entity, they'll get 3 kills. They're now up to a 3K lead. Been playing around with Nisha as well, making sure he doesn't have the easiest time of farming his own triangle.
So I think for Secret right now, I mean, Entity are just playing really well. The way they are positioned on the map is very good, but so far it's mainly Secret making plays and they're not really working out. If you're Secret, I think right now they need to understand that their kills don't really happen that fast. They don't have that much burst damage, right? And they're playing against heroes who are really good at turning plays. Undying Tombstone heal, there's a Chen heal, there's a long-range Fissure. So unless your plays really happen fast and you snap a guy out of the game, Secret need to be a little more aware of where they fight and how many heroes Entity actually have in the area, because they're always ready and they will counterplay you like this every single time.
They're ready to return towards the bottom. Pressure starting to show here from Resolution. They want to deal with this. He's coming in. You can get the setup onto Rezo. There's the burst. There's the opening. Sunstrike connects. Rezo goes down. An easy catch and kill there for Entity as Rezo shows his face close to the tower.
Yeah, for now, it's just really all Entity. For Secret, of course, they're not going to feel great with the position they're in, but they're only down 3k gold. They have a bit of a greedy support in the Centaur and the Tusk, where they both somewhat need items. So right now, I think they need to slow down the game a little bit. Let Rezo get this Vessel. He's very close. Perhaps give a lane to Puppy, and then really, they need to keep farming the map. Right now, they cannot fight into Entity. Their draft is not really designed to do it. They're also behind in the game. And I think soon enough, Entity will force the first Roche. And I'm kind of interested to see how Secret respond to that one.
Sure. And I feel as well with Secret's lineup, how easy is it for all these heroes to kind of find the space to get this farm that they need at this stage? Because it feels like kind of a pretty greedy lineup in terms of the 3 cores and then the areas of the map they want to be clearing. It feels like there's some crossover.
There absolutely is a crossover, 100%. The good thing for you is that you have a Nature's Prophet who can potentially farm like very iffy areas that maybe other heroes can't. But without having vision on the map, that is also not really easy to do. So Secret are kind of in the position where it's very hard for them to play this game right now. Like their next moves are very important.
So they can make a move here on the mid. And go for Toby. Soon then they will get the kill. Stampede also allows them to safely disengage. But if Entity can catch anyone out of this, they can't. The Stampede enough split Secret apart, so they get in, they get the kill, they get out.
That was very nicely played. Definitely making the most of the situation at that point. So that is absolutely how they can fight. Most likely even the only option that they can do it at this point is that they find someone and they hold the Stampede to then disengage after. They hope to kill the guy fast enough. As soon as he drops low, Stampede run away so that the Tombstone and Cold Snaps and all Ice Walls, whatever, that they don't slow you down. So very nicely played by them.
Back off at least. Hold off from making the next move, I'd imagine, until they have Stampede available once again. Very well as mechanic to get them out after they find that opportunity to make a quick move. Link daggers, can't me. 1500 to miss. Able to find Zayat step. Dagger done. Between that and the bots, ready to be all across the map. Again, just these items that Entity are getting out make it that little bit easier to respond, even quicker for favorable positions that they're able to jump back against Secret when Secret try and go for these.
Yeah, it's time for Entity to go Roche. Pure has played the bot area long enough. He held the tower alive for a long time. He got all the farm going, and now they're far ahead. They have a very good Roche lineup. You have Chen, you have Morph, you have Undying as well with the Tombstone. And now here, this is a very... Okay, if you have a Stampede coming in.
Aggressive Stampede here from Puppey to try and start the action off, but doesn't look like the rest of his team really want to get involved in this one. And Puppey goes down. Entity, they'll resume the Roshan. Zayas, he's hovering around the edge of the pit, but there's just no way they're getting in on this. As Entity, they're able to take it down, get the Aegis into the hands of Pure. Just a little bit ambitious there from Puppey on the lead-in.
Yeah, definitely. Perhaps not feeling good enough, about giving Roche to your enemy, but sadly, sometimes the truth is you have to give it to them. So do you rather just give them the Roche, or do you want to give them Roche and kills? And sometimes it's just hard to let go in that situation, but I do think for Secret moving forward, they want to hold the Stampede as they showed in the mid-fight prior. They wanted to disengage or to kite around the fight a little bit. But either way, nice job by Entity. They go for the objective that they need. They finish up the Roshan. And now they're also getting closer. Not even just close. They just finished the Blink Dagger on Kataomi. So this is going to allow them to actually play faster around the map. And they have two plays now. You force this top tier 2 tower, or if you already see very clearly that Secret will not fight you, you can smoke across the map. Because right now you're in a position where Secret don't really deserve to farm that much of the map with the heroes that Entity have.
And as you mentioned in the draft that we're going to be a bit concerned if Kataomi got one of his 2 heroes that he's been popping off, and we really are seeing it so far this game again. 208, high involvement on the kills. Yeah, with this Blink Dagger added into the mix nice and early for him. Secret, they better be scared. Bottom lane, Stormstormer, got the setup on Resolution. No chance of a TP out here. The 4 of them surrounding him.
Blink Invoker, very cool. Seeing it this early. I mean, Stormstormer, a Invoker specialist. He's been Grandmaster or whatever this tier is called for as long as I played this game. So this guy definitely knows its ins and outs of this hero. Now Entity, they TP'd all their heroes to bottom. Very likely that they're going to look to soon get out of here, start connecting with their Morphling again, who I haven't talked about Morph that much, but Pure is just rocking this network chart. And there's really no surprise there with the start that he's had.
Yeah, completely free farm in that lane down bottom. And as I say, when you kind of give Pure that sort of start, he's going to start hitting these insane numbers. Skadi just 800 gold away, 20 minutes in. So you're looking at this Manta Skadi Morphling, which is pretty terrifying for Secret, especially when you consider obviously that they're running a 3 range core right clicking lineup. I mean, the Skadi's going to be their worst nightmare.
Oh, absolutely. That's up top.
Things up with a 2-man slam. They'll put the Stampede, but Puppey, he's already dead. Zayas rolls in. He's quickly out, as it is already starting to look very difficult for Secret to get any sort of footing in this game against Entity, and we're just 20 minutes in.
Is under attack.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned because this, I'm sad to say it if you want Secret to win, but this game is not getting easier for them. This is an incredible morph game. He has Alacrity. If it isn't, it's already a great morph game. He has Alacrity, Tombstone, Soul Rip, Chen heals, and then Earthshaker getting stuns for him. This doesn't get much better.
And of course also Toby's finished up a Lotus Orb.
Yeah.
So he's got that to throw down on Pure as well. They have all the tools to... Honestly, also the tools to pop up a Morphling in this state, say to a 30-minute mark in the game. But they've got this all set up at 21 minutes in.
Yeah, and they're just gonna go up high ground, and this is absolutely the correct choice. I also like the creeps on Fishman, attack speed at Tusk. Zayas was taking a ton of damage with just casual spells.
I have to go for the snowball, but another quick snowball into his death. Here, cleans up another kill. They'll put the fortification, but it really feels like these racks are going down no matter what. We're just 21 minutes in. And Entity getting to take whatever they want from the map. And Secret, they just don't have a response. We see the wave bombing over towards Nisha, caught by the Fisher. He's out for 50. Yeah, ready to continue to play aggressively here. Still 40 seconds on the Aegis. This Entity, they are coming into this grand finals as explosively as they have every other series we've seen from them in the run so far this qualifying. Puppey goes down. Entity, they're not going anywhere. They're into the base, under the tier 4s. They'll turn towards Crystalis. It's going to be pretty much a team wipe off the BKB, but the sun strikes there. GG is called. Welcome to the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. We've just had a 22-minute victory here from Entity.
Well,
Well, I mean...
Entity are here, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
they certainly
played
are.
phenomenal.
Okay, well, that was game 1 there, Kezu. Thoughts?
Yeah, okay, so it's only the first game, so Secret
yes.
will need to change something in the draft, I think. So when you go into this game, you have a Morphling who's picked up very early on, and honestly, it's a very good Morph game. Apart from potentially the lane, which then they instantly salvage by getting a 23 pick Chen. I even overlooked that. I thought the hero was banned in the first phase. And then I think Secret just tried a little too hard to maybe, to get their plays happen. But maybe they knew that their draft wasn't amazing.
Bristle back here.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Team secrets turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Team secrets turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the finals here in the Western Europe qualifiers for the International 2022. We've just had game 1 of Secret versus Entity, and it was one of the quickest games that we've had. 22 minutes and a half, pretty much, that Entity was able to take down Secret. Game 2, draft is beginning, and already we're seeing some change-ups, some big change-ups. We know he's big, we know he's strong. Secret, they're going to slam out that Pudge pick as their first pick here, Kezu.
All right, so Secret have a new plan in this game. They're like, yeah, screw this, I'm dying, take him out, give them the Chen instead. So they prepped for this. So they picked the Pudge straight up, which I'm gonna assume, unless Entity make it a great core game, it's just gonna be a support following the Chen. And then Bad Rider in the first phase, interesting. And now Entity followed up with good old Stormer Invoker.
Very, very good orders. We did see last game having a very smooth time. Stormer more than happy to look to play it again.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, let's have a look now. I mean, I think the
5
most interesting
seconds
point
remaining.
is going to be Secret's sort of second phases of bans. When you consider what happened
Team
last game,
Secrets turn
I mean,
to ban.
where are you looking? You know, who should be top of your list of just making sure that they do not get their comfort?
Ban Nyx Assassin if you're Secret, because you have Bad Rider. It's one of Katomi's best heroes. Unless you intend on picking it 15, but that is not really good for you. I think that hero has to be removed. Also, Entity, they're the type of team on 16, 17, they will always combo pick. In terms of, there's like a high chance they're gonna pick some Shadow Fiend plus a protective hero, like SF Earthshaker could be very good for them, or even some Shadow Fiend Omni Knight. Omni Knight very good against these two heroes you see. You also have an Invoker buffing you up. So right now, if you're Secret, I think you cover Kataomi with the Shaker or Nyx, or maybe both, or you already know which of these combos you let Entity pick, and then you're prepared to pick against it.
To themselves start to indicate which route they want to be going with the picks, which they'll take away from that low pick.
I mean, I'm guessing that Secret will pick Puppet's heroes out of phase. I could see something like a Witch Doctor, just to give yourself some more damage. It's not too bad against Chen. To be fair, Secret's picks, it's very hard to call their picks. They seem to be the most, maybe, I guess versatile is an okay way of saying. They do pick a lot of different heroes. I think Crystal Maiden can be good for you too. If you're Secret, okay against Chen, decent with your heroes, they all use mana. But yeah, hard to really call what they're gonna do.
5 seconds remaining.
Absolutely. We're seeing some fun stuff. Of course, Puppy bringing in the support center a few times this qualifiers. They have some more crazy picks. I believe we'll see. Bando, of course, playing the bat, run the threat. Having that put in the matchup and having that game, easy time.
Slark's definitely one of the better bans. It would also allow Secret to flex those heroes around a little bit. Sorry, obviously Entity, you know, they don't want Entity to have it against Slark. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's okay.
Bam from N. where they think going. And more bans here. Lissorn.
I mean, I feel it's not easy for Entity to nail these bans particularly, so they're just going for some player comfort. The Bloodseeker ban definitely...
Yeah, very, very important ban. And
Team Secret's turn to pick.
earlier, the Shaker, it will be the Knicks.
Makes sense.
Take out. And would you sort of imagine that that does mean they can expect that, you know, Entity will just go with the Shaker again? Or a chance that they can pick it away here that the Shaker's not going to look too appealing? Something else will be played?
5 seconds remaining.
I think it's very likely that Entity pick Shaker. I don't
Yeah.
see why they would sway away from it, at least at this point. So they do go Witch. I feel like Witch Doctor or Crystal Maiden were kind of their best bets, especially with you banning Nyx. That also makes the CM a bit better for you, gives you a bit more clarity on the ult, but they decide to go with Witch Doctor, which is very good. And now here, I will just expect Entity to go for some combo pick, like
10 seconds
Visages in the
remaining.
pool. You could do some Shaker Visage if you do want to pick the offlane. But oftentimes what I've seen them do when they have these aura heroes in the first phase, which Chen helps you, Invoker can buff you, they will pick the pulse 4 here and then the other core with it, like some Shaker SF as we touched on, or maybe Shaker Visage can help too. It will help the core later as well. You'll buy even more auras. So I would say for now, this is something that Secret should definitely have seen coming. So if they left it in the pool, then they must have an idea against it.
10
Yep.
seconds
No, absolutely. I
remaining.
think, yeah. Now you nailed it. Shake.
5 seconds
Sounds like
remaining.
Entity, and yeah, they just got to keep doing more of the same, because whatever it is, it's working very, very well. See if they continue down that route, or if they want to change it up. They've of course got a much wider range of offlaners to pick from this game, the lack of bans towards them. And with that in mind, they'll leave that offlane pick to the last. They'll grab the morph once again.
It's
Radiant
basically
team
the
back.
same draft as last pick, just that they had Undying instead of Chen in that slot. Last game, I suggested the Kunkka they'll go for this game in the mid against the Invoker. Definitely cannot fault them for that. I think that's a very good pick. Secret lack team fight. Even with this Kunkka pick, they're definitely behind on the
10
team fight
seconds
aspect, and
remaining.
that is kind of what bit them in the ass in the last game. Whenever they wanted to fight, they
5
couldn't really do it.
seconds
So I
remaining.
think Secret already making a bit of an adjustment here with the Kunkka.
Yeah.
I like it. It's going to give them a better chance for sure in this game.
Now, is there... Because now at this stage of the draft, you imagine... Is it more sort of set in stone who's playing what on Secret?
Yeah, I think it's very set in stone.
Yeah.
You mean in terms of the course?
Yeah, but yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The Bad Rider is... I mean, there's definitely a way where if you get some gotcha pick, you can flex them away. But for now, the Kunkka is mid against the Invoker, and the Bad is top against the Morphling.
10 seconds remaining.
Secret, they've only got... Do you want to be taking
5
for that
seconds
off lane?
remaining.
I mean, would you
I think-
imagine Visage is still high up on the list?
Anything that allows Entity to like give them more power between the 15 and 20 minute mark, you have to take it out of the game. I think Visage is too much comfort, and it gives them, or anything that Secret believe Entity will pick that builds auras, goes in the offlane and does okay with Shaker, you just take it out.
Time to consider here, Secret. Some other table that a bit more than the Visage that jumping out at us in particular. These strengths.
Entity going for similar drafts again. They definitely, they're very scared of the sniper. I don't blame them. They don't have too many heroes that really jump him or reach him. I guess Sniper has a good matchup against Morphling simply because, yeah, sure, Morphling hits hard, but he doesn't really have the easiest time to get onto you in the game. As they last ban the Huskar
10
from
seconds
Entity's side
remaining.
here.
I mean, in the past, that has very much been that strong
5
cheese pick
seconds
that Chrysalis brings in. You know, when Huskar was kind of more in favor, it was a hero that he would know when to grab and completely destroy the game with. You know, I would have been a bit surprised if we were to see that now. Way things are a bit different in the patch and play, but clearly, Entity, they still very much respect that potential from.
I would not have thought to ban Huskar, but I'll have to see if the next pick gives more info to that, or again, if it's just more so about the comfort. I think Vanoban once again is
Radiant team pick.
it's okay. I'll say it's slightly worse than the last game. I think the
Okay, and we're gonna get an Omni as the last pick here for Entity. So which of these is Toby playing on the offlane? May we be seeing the offlane Chen then this time round, or is this going to be like some offlane Omni night?
10 seconds.
potentially hard to say yet. Again, it's definitely like another strength
5
of their
seconds
draft that they can
remaining.
choose to do this, and also that their players play both of these heroes in their, you know, respected positions. There's merit to both. Omni 5 does very well against Bad Rider. You can keep the spelling. Then again, Chen does too. Most likely, the last pick here from Secret will then once again allow Entity to decide, okay, who's going to be in the offlane? Is it the Omni or is it going to be the Chen? But again, I am a little afraid of Team Secret's team fight. Their last pick has to be... He needs a good carry matchup against the Morphling and ideally also help them in this game.
Choose your hero.
We're gonna go the route of the Naga Siren. We did see this pulled out the other day, and it worked very, very well for them. And this, you know, again, you know, when that was pulled out the other day against, I believe, yeah, it was Into the Breach. That was Chrysalis's first competitive showing on it. It'll be a second game in competitive that he's going to be playing. So, you know, so far it's 100% win rate, Kezu.
You're absolutely right. He's got the 100% win rate on lock. It's not quite as good of a Naga game as it was yesterday. It's still a very good game for Naga. I have no clue what creeps you need on Chen to deal with this hero. So I would assume, again, as we saw yesterday, Chrysalis will have a very good time in the safe lane.
Yeah.
Chen does not like to lane into these heroes whatsoever. I do also like Naga Siren a lot with Bad Rider, just conceptually in the game. You push it all the ways with Naga. You want one guy to help you get pickoffs. You have Blink Lasso to consistently do that. But there's still this mid-game timing that is very, very scary from Entity, especially when they get the shard on the Earthshaker, the Repel, or the Grace on Omni. So
Wow.
actually, I can't really choose a favorite, but I will prefer to play Entity's draft this game.
Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, at the least, I just hope we get a bit more than 22 minutes of gameplay. Because
We will. I'm
when
sure
it
we
gets
will.
down to that sort of quick pace, it's kind of like the game's the same length as the draft. Hopefully, we get a bit more excitement, a bit more of a length to this one. And yeah, I mean, also, you know, in terms of the Naga Siren pick, are you not a little scared of the Shaker? Even in sort of the potentials of being able to not necessarily always on that sort of stuff, right? You get sort of a cast range item on the Shaker. You're able to reach in from the edge of the song, aren't you? Or not quite?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no. Later in the game you can. I do think you
Yeah.
need a lens to execute that. But early on you don't care about the Shaker so much. At least you're not like the PL where you are together with your illusions at all times of the game. So there's definitely times for Chrysalis in this game where he will be very strong. It's gonna be a bit swingy. He's gonna be very strong from like minute 10 to 20. Then there's a few minutes where he's not as strong when they get their blink daggers and shards. But Secret, they need Chrysalis to have a good game. I want to see him even more farmed than in the game they had yesterday, because that is what he's going to need to pull off in order to win this game.
Let's see, as I say, if he can do it. 100% win rate so far. Stats are still stats.
Stats don't lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 seconds to battle.
Again, was the game grabbing it as the last pick. Yeah, Entity, we were mentioning at the start of the whole series, their ability to play the top lane.
I feel like it shouldn't be that good of a lane for them top. Maybe with the Shaker, again, you can try to double wave a little bit with the Shaker block, but Naga should just free farm here, and Chen shouldn't have the easiest time to pressure that lane. Also, if Stormer decides to go for Exort, which he is, as Fishman is taking quite a beating down bottom for now.
Caught by the hook. Puppey can finish him off. One more right click, but won't quite be able to get in on top of him. First blood to be found yet. Yeah. Be fine here as well. Yeah. Back towards Fishman. Salving back up. And of course, you know, looking at this as well, how do you sort of feel Pudge is in terms of his strengths back in that support role? Because this, of course, it's a patch where, you know, Pudge in the support position, that is not the common thing to see.
I would say he is better than people give him credit for. You know, like, just because you have a Pudge in your lane doesn't mean that the game is instantly over or that the guy is griefing you. It's really not that bad. His face stats are good. The hook deals a tremendous amount of damage. It's like 150 pure for 100 mana. It's definitely very strong, as we see a little bit of lane swaps already. Secret want to have the Pudge against the Chen, and they also looks like they wanted to have the Chorus away from each other. So we'll see how this plays out, because this way you don't actually have the Naga lane into the Chen. But you now have Omni Chen lane, which is definitely something I don't see in my pubs.
Some fun stuff here from Entity, and every reason to believe that it's going to work very well to their favor with track record so far. Bottom. They're getting a bit of a Fisher block off onto Puppey. Quite with the take him out at this early level. I believe we saw this sort of same position that Chrysalis was farming in the last time he played Nagasarian the other day. You know, he was down in the bottom lane. In this lane situation, is he going to be able to free farm? Does he get scary for the Nagasarian downer at all against these two?
I feel like it starts off good, and it should stay this way the whole time. Morphling, once again, a hero that doesn't deal too well with illusions. The only way Entity can do well in this lane is if they keep clicking Crystallis down, so that when he spawns Illus that they're not full HP, and then maybe with some Fissure they can clear them. But for now, we should see Crystallis be most likely at least among the top of the network chart at like 5 to 6 minutes.
Top lane. An attempt there from Rezo to run down Toby, but got plenty of one charges again as well, so he's fine. We'll see in the jungle a bit of a battle here between Fishman and
hilarious fight.
Got the hook, one's got the hammer.
Maybe not enough heft.
There, but not quite able to get the act. Over towards the mid lane. Nisha. 12-5 here against Storm. Storm was 11 for 3. But having that bit of an edge in terms of being able to harass the Invoker, find the option to Forge Spirit sometimes. To allow this to stay a pretty even matchup.
Yeah, Kunkka, Nisha in this matchup, he might be slightly ahead over time. I would definitely like if Puppey looks for moves into middle, especially when you play against an Exort Invoker. He has a hard time staying full HP against Kunkka, and also you do have to set up with an X-Mark Torrent potentially later. And similar to the game yesterday, if you remember, they had this Naga in the offlane, and it allowed their support to rotate very early on out of the lane. And it's, to be fair, it should be very similar in this matchup. Because as we said, Crystallis, he should have a good time in this lane, even if he ends up 1v2 for short amounts of time in this laning stage.
Certain though, does look like with this setup that it will be another game where Pure gets complete free farm in the lane setup that he's ended in. Crystallis may also be able to hit the creeps down here. Nothing seems to show any signs of slowing down Pure, and very much saw that become a problem rather quickly in that game one. Pure was able to hit that 20-minute timing on the Manta Skadi.
Yeah, luckily this game for Secret is not as good as a Morph game as the last one. It was, to be fair, pretty hard to replicate such a good Morph game once more. I would definitely like Secret to, as I said before, try to speed up Nisha's game a little bit. He's the one that's going to go around, get some tempo, as we have a bit more trading up top with Fishman and Zayas here.
Fishman is charging in under the tower there. Full aggression here from the Omni. CS. Very easy. Turbium resolution. 9 on the gen. 15 and 2 on the bat. On track to get this pretty early timing on it. A sort of aura item that Toby wants to get out.
Honestly, this Pudge in the top lane is already doing a pretty decent job. As we might have a little go here on red. He's trying to sticky up both at the same time. But what do you know? It doesn't do too much in this patch anymore, since he still dispels both the targets.
Able to build up those stacks again. Just trying to run in at them, but Fishman, he's happy to trade for this. He's going to have another hammer in a second to throw down at Zayats, and there it is.
First blood.
Out goes the hammer of purity, and first blood is claimed.
Well, I guess I cursed him. I mean, so far at least, it looked like he was doing pretty well because if I see this matchup played straight into each other as we have some more goals on bottom, Puppy. Nice net by Crystal, it's very interesting.
Yeah. They form off and be able to catch Puppy, so Puppy will live there. Thanks to the early skill of the net from Crystalis. Mid 6-minute power runes in play. Will be a haste top.
Radiant's middle
Fishman
tower is
will
under
go over and be
attack.
able to take control of that one. Nisha, aggressive under the tower, has hit the 6.
Gonna get whacked a
Very,
few
very
times.
strong. Yeah, Fishman's going to be ready to run him down. Zip around a little bit. Back up. Here, Puppy. Round to back Nisha up if he finds any sort of setup with the X mark. But not like he'll be given the opportunity. Stormer sitting back safely, making sure that he reliably gets this last bit of gold for his mark. In fact, he'll stay underneath this tower. That Midas, again, in very good timing here for him. Top. Time round, Fishman. Should be in trouble. He's got a Maledict on him. Real force. So Puppy coming in to make the rotation. Sunstrike. Damage just gets split. So, it's fine. Toby not quite able to stay on top of him.
Nice rotation and nice heads-up play from Puppy also there afterwards to split the damage from the Sunstrike because that was definitely a kill on him. Now, getting this kill on Omni, it can be a very big deal, especially if Fishman would make the mistake to TP out to a lane, which he is not doing, so well done by him, because if he TPs somewhere to a lane, it would open up for Secret to dive the mid lane without him then being TP ready. But no, Fishman, he's smart. He's like, I need to ready to save my homies. He's just gonna walk out with his hammer, keep his TP ready. Stormer, as you mentioned, he finishes Midas already again under 8 minutes. Very good timing for him. Now 8-minute rune coming up, and I would still like to see Secret try to involve Nisha in this game. He's very strong. Maybe also eventually look for like a lane swap around later where you put the Kunkka into a side lane, maybe with open a play here on Pure, or come top against the Chen, because eventually Secret should look to swap up their cores at least a little bit. I think this Chen will take over top at some point.
Mid Nisha. Gonna look to drop the combo on Fishman. Seems like it's going to be enough damage. Puppy tries to step in to help out, but the TPs are coming in. Now Pure turns into the Kunkka to use the combo against Nisha for the setup. 4 heroes of entity surrounding Nisha. Try and run from this one, but the waveforms there from Pure as they'll turn it around and get the kill against him themselves. Nice fast movements there from Pure, using the power of the Kunkka against him.
Well, that's just a very heads-up rotation as Resolution having a bit of a battle with Toby. He's gonna pop the Hand of God.
Back up here from Fishman. Have a chance of potentially turning this. Sunstrike comes in and indeed Rezo gets taken out. Puppy will get the cask off onto the 2 of them, but Zayats falls. See if Puppy can get a bit of a cleanup here as both are ticking down very low to the Maledict. And DD will. Puppy may have lost sort of the other 2 by his side, but he will get a cleanup. Down bottom though, Crystalis in a whole world of pain there, only just managing to sneak away from Pure. He'll have to take a walk back, because not available on Stormer, so won't be able to throw out any Sunstrikes in an effort to catch him.
Clarity is coming.
I
would like to see
Is he
if he
still
goes
going to
for
go
it.
for it? I'd love to see it.
Go,
If he does,
scan.
Do it,
He's
do
not.
it.
He knows.
Come on, do it.
Oh, he's invoking triple Exort? No, he's not.
Oh, come on, do it.
I'll take that.
No Reddit
no.
clip for today.
No.
At least not from this minute. I must say,
Yeah.
what happened? Okay, so this smoke, for now at least, from Secret, I like it. We'll get back to it in a moment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened in the last 2 minutes to the network between the Morph and the Naga, because Pure even TP'd mid. He made a super clutch play going mid as we have a cool hook up top on Toby.
Looks like there won't be anyone heading up there to help him out. 3 heroes on top of him. Not a chance. So
Radiant's top tower
get taken
is under
down.
attack.
Secret now able to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower off the back of that kill.
A little similar to last game. Now, minute 10, Entity, they feel strong, as they should. Their Invoker has double Forge Spirit, like the good old days. They put their Shaker here. It's like deja vu from last game. They come here, minute 10, Siege Creep, they bring the supports, and they're just going to look to apply some pressure here.
Slow this down. Zayats. For an angle.
Radiant's top
Got the
tower
siege
has
creep.
fallen.
TP's coming in now. Nisha for the fight. Same time he comes in. Entity, they know it's time to back off. Allow Secret to get any sort of setup out of this.
Secret, they definitely responded to the play very well. Nisha stayed top after the first initial kill on Toby. They take the tower, he then TPs mid to make sure their own mid tower is secured. And once again for Entity, as we have a bit more pressure on bottom, they're just going to look to take this tier 1 as we have a net on this here too. No lasso though.
Runs into Naga Siren there. Some illusions out and we'll continue to run. Backup coming in for Pure. This is going to be a hard kill for them to try and get. With the skill build, no lasso, but even if it was there, Fishman would have been ready with some protection. Pure's going to be fine. Secret not able to chase
Nice
out.
ice wall.
Stormstormer, he's got the kill out of that.
It's under attack.
Killing off sights underneath the tower. No, very much in his element here on the Invoker. 2-0-1. He's going to be hitting some fast timings. I mean, we're just 12 minutes in or so, and again, the two at the top there, Pure and Stormstormer. It seems like they're on track for a bit of a repeat of what both were able to do in game 1, Kezu.
Absolutely. I'll play a little game with you. Okay, so I think Entity's draft is a little better. Their 5-man is very strong and they're hitting decent timings. What do you think their win probability is right now?
It's already on the screen. I've been spoiled. I've been spoiled.
Okay, we'll play
would
this
you
game
say?
again later.
Yeah,
I would have
sure.
said 72.
You would have gone around there.
looking.
Yeah.
Close.
The time.
It's just 1,000 gold difference. But we saw how quickly that just blew open after sort of the following fights at game 1 around this moment. Couldn't get a catch in the mid. Get the angle for the hook.
Dire's
I'll
top
drag down Fishman, but Fishman's got Brent. GA trying to get in on top of Nisha, but the boat comes crashing down over the turn.
Nice
Drop
echo.
the Echo Slam, Puppy from the low ground, using the Death Ward. Won't be able to take down Katsomi, but they will get Fishman. They'll get one of them out of this Secret.
Play by Secret, come over, try to make a bit more use of the spell combos that they do have. They always have the X into a potential hook or the X Mark Torrent into some Witch Doctor plays as they try for some more in the mid lane. The one problem that they're running into right now is that they're playing a lot of single target spells and spell combos into an Omni Knight. It's something I mentioned yesterday. I mean, Omni Knight loves this, right? He loves when you throw 8 spells on one hero, he comes, haha. I press my W, you're free. Not only are you free, but you gain a lot of HP region. So again, it's a type of situation where Secret need to look for heroes that aren't too close to towers or like too close to their teammates that they can take these plays really. Because for now, they cannot use the Naga Siren. Crystallis has no real purpose in most of the fights. For now, all he can do is push waves and help his team to get control his bottom. Beautiful hook.
Nice angle there from Zayats. We'll see backup coming in and try and bail Katsomi out of this. We'll get around a couple of stuns off. Stormstormer and Fishman trying to hold them off, but Katsomi will fall. Secret, they get the kill and they're able to back off in time. We'll see a bit of an attempt from Entity to chase. Good. The gap on Zayats turns into the pudge. Able to use his hook against him. Fishman's also going to be there to buff Pure up, allow him to continue to chase down Zayats. They'll slow him out with the hammer. He's up to the high ground. Pure, he wants to keep going. Goes in the waveform, gets the kill. We'll see Secret in their numbers be able to maybe turn this. They drop down the boat.
Firefly,
It's a huge amount of damage coming out over towards Pure. He's building up the strength. Is it going to be enough to save him? He's going to try for the TP out, but the damage has been done. Secret, they will manage to punish Pure's over-aggression there as yeah, he was ready to just charge into that triangle no matter what. It does cost him his life.
Radiant's
Yeah,
middle
you definitely
tower is
gotta
under attack.
Little too cocky there, trying to chase Zayas for that long, who was incredibly tanky. Fluffy had Raindrop, Tranquil Boots with the Fletch Heave, just tanking through a lot of damage, and then, you know, just overstepping his Welcome a little too much into a Maledict. And a Bad Rider is very scary against Morphling until you have items, if he gets to chase you. And when you go this deep into them, of course, he has all the room in the world to potentially, you know, chase you down, X-Mark Lasso. So nice job by Secret to punish that, turn it around. But once again, for Entity, I think in the coming minutes, we're going to have a Roshan Force again for them. It's very similar to the last game, right? Alacrity, Chen, you have the Morphling, high damage. So they're going to look to play top area into Roshan very soon.
I mean,
maybe even now.
I was going to say, is this a smoke into Roshan? Now Pure will reveal himself mid.
I mean, they could, because they have the Chen creeps and the penitence. They could go into the enemy jungle. They don't have to. They can just do it like that. In Secret camp, they can fight them. Especially when you have more fight, then it's good for you to force this fight. Because again, you're either getting it for free, or you force Secret to fight into you, which should be good for Entity.
Let's see what Secret's answer is going to be. It's going down very quickly. Yeah, not a chance for Secret to head in. As Roshan goes down, they'll get the Aegis onto Pure. Secret just in the area, but not quite able to set up a move in time.
That's probably okay for them to give it. I just believe, similar to this game one, it is very hard for you to fight into this Entity 5-man ball. So when they're set up there, which of course they will be if they go Roche like this, then you can't really go there and contest it anymore. You just need to accept the fact, give it up, push out the lanes, and get closer to your timings. Rezo wants this BKB, Naga needs his next items, and then just keep looking for these smaller skirmishes and smaller fights on the side lanes of the map.
Set up bottom, Stormstormer. Combo dropped down onto Rezo. Any chance of a save? There isn't. Resolution taken down very easily there by Stormstormer, and now maybe more. The Fisher angle from Katomi. Catching up to Zayas. He'll even drop down the slam for this one. As Entity, they'll be able to pick up another. Secret still going to charge forward with the remaining 3 of them. Can he find any sort of grab? He can't. Entity, they're into the trees and they're away. They get the 2 kills, they lose nothing in return.
Good play by them. They go bottom. Stormstorm was already very early on the bottom push after the Roshan. They connect over with the rest. Maybe Rezo slightly out of position. I think maybe Zayas could have saved them with a 4-squad choke. But either way, good play by Entity. Also, they drop the Echo towards the end. Once again, Kataomi getting close to this blink. They have Aegis. It's not a very different game from last time around. For Entity, it's pretty much just go time. Knock on Secret's door, see how they respond. Do they even dare to fight into you? Because I have to stress it again. It is very hard for Secret to fight into Entity's 5-man. Straight up.
Sure, sort of the team fight they have, it's kind of the Kunker, and then that's that. There's a reason to believe that Entity see a time outmaneuvering them in a 5-on-5. We'll see bottom. Attempt to get Nisha away from T's aggression. We'll see Pure turn over towards Zayat. Fishman buffing himself up. Pure returning to Kunkrun again, using Nisha's combo against him. Sets up for the kill, and now is ready to look for more. Over towards Resolution as he's slowed down by the ice wall. Entity, they'll get 2 out of this. Even more Secret on 2, careful. Pure zips forward again, back into the Kunker form. Another combo, another catch as he sets up onto Zayas.
Okay, that's a good pause. That's a good pause. The Secret need this one. I know that maybe some of the players are lagging. Of course, that's his Entity's pause. But Secret right now need to redirect what they're doing. Also, I'm very surprised. I need to question here in this replay why Crystallis is not opting to bail his team out with the song. He might be too afraid of. So right now, of course, he's on Pure. He's doing a very good job there. But now when his team gets chased, I feel like you have to pop the song here and get everyone out. You see where they all are, because Secret actually end up bleeding more and more heroes because they don't get to run away from these. You cannot fight into them, but you also have too hard of a time to run away. So you need to make a decision and, you know, go for one decision, do it together, and either commit or get out.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, it looked like definitely quite a bit of a window where, you know, at the least Resolution and Zayas probably would have been able to be saved by a backup and a retreat around the song, but that fight. Because
right now it just it doesn't look as clear to me. So if if I'm in Secret shoes, do I think I can fight them? If so, everyone needs to come and we need to commit to the fight. I feel like they're doing it halfway. If they feel like they're going to win later in the game with a fat Naga Siren, then let Crystallis play absolutely away from your team, get super fat around the map, cut some waves, delay the game so that you can fight later. But right now, it looks a little disconnected. And with how Entity are playing, that will not make it easy for you to fight into them or beat them in this game.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to be same page if you want to be able to match up against considering the form they have been in game after game. See, back in the advance, so 3k gold ahead. Storm are still yet to die. Very nice moves around the map already. 404 making the plays and making the money. Working on that BKB next after this Blink Bots Midas. Yeah, of course,
very nice
close behind him.
Really like the itemization from especially Toby in this game with the Wraith Pact Rush. You get a lot more value from just the AoE, you know, like reduced damage over buying any heal item, because you're playing into Witch Doctor. It will always clip him. It will always clip Kunkka, his Tidebringers, the constant damage from Bad Rider. It also helps you to deal with the illusions a little bit, and most importantly, it helps your Morphling so much. Giving Life Steal to your carry this way, and more armor and more damage than you have, you know, and yourself you give armor with Alacrity. I can't stress it enough. This is giving me like some OG vibes from TI8, TI9. You know, you have tops and mid on his Invoker. You have 8 million buffs for Ana. He at some point runs down a lane and you're like, what the hell do I do to this?
Definitely something that we're asking themselves in game one.
We might be asking themselves the same question soon.
I think there's definitely a chance. You know, we're 18 minutes in. So they've only got to last 4 more minutes and they will have made it longer than they did in game one. So definitely looks like it should be at the least a slightly longer game.
Secret will hold on to this game and they still have comeback mechanism in this game. If they decide together what they want to do. I think right now, Entity, again, I've said it 50 million times, I'm sorry. They're too strong, you cannot fight them. Have Crystallis push out waves, get this BKB on resolution, and then try to abuse the map pressure you have. Try to abuse the vision, the lane control, so that you can get pickups on the sidelines, delay the game a bit, get this Aegis away from Entity. You can drop a tower or 2 while delaying the game, and then take the game from there. But stop running at them and look to fight them. You can't.
And if indeed, you know, Secret, you're able to kind of keep Naga Siren away from these moves that Entity's making. In this sort of a game, can Crystallis kind of start to hit that top spot as a Naga Siren? Like, how easy is it for him to sort of split the lanes, push the lanes out, and safely be able to sweep through the jungle?
I think it's not that hard. A lot of the Radiant heroes aren't as mobile. Like Morphling isn't the most mobile carry. His move speed is very low. Omni Knight, Chen, they basically just want to right-click their core, right, and run around the map. So they're not very fast at moving around the map. You can have Illus push out there, because if Secret get to a point where Rezo gets to this BKB, which he has now, like if he can get a Blink Dagger without them losing the game like more than they are now, they'll be totally fine in a few minutes to get pickups whenever the Omni Knight is not close to his teammates.
Well, there could have been something.
See, not looking to commit in onto the Pudge.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Find something bigger than that. Go for the jump. Zermi eyeing them up from the high ground. That's ready to play with the Blink Echo. Opportunity arises.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Playing Aghanims on Morphling. I actually believe that this is a great choice. You don't need Biscotti. Not only do you have an Earthshaker, but you're playing in a lineup where you have issues to deal with the enemy Naga Siren. Suddenly you get Aftershock, Totem, and a second Fissure. So the game changes. This is Deja Vu. What did they do last game at 20 minutes? They were right here.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower.
Wait, you confused me. What's second Fissure from what?
Oh, but he can turn into the Earthshaker, no? Or am I being stupid?
Kenzie, what year are you living in?
Ah, yes, of course. Sorry, guys. I'm actually in 2020
I was
still.
like, wait, hold on.
Well, I tried throwing you off. Yeah, never mind. Either way, his axe is very good. Ignore everything I said. I'm stupid. Too many changes lately.
There we go, hook. Able to grab him there. Getting Nisha even. No, he's prepared with the self-X mark.
It's okay, I'm reading the eggs right now once again just to make sure.
Bottom tower is under attack.
No, I think mainly it's going to be kind of taken away. I mean, it depends who he's going for still in these fights. I mean, all in all, it's just a nice extra buff. Being able to sort of have that huge amount of offset. Whichever stat or effect you're going to be taking, whether it's the spell amp, attack speed, status resist, depending on which stat type of hero you're going for.
It's going to be very good. If he can get the real Naga, he's going to ruin him. But to be fair, I guess in most fights won't be able to. I'm not sure if you can use it on illusions. So you can, because you can use the normal one on Illus. And otherwise, if you really want stab resistance in some of the fights against some bad rider, nets and so on, that's also not bad at all.
There's it. Maybe see if we can make a bit of a go here onto Fishman. We'll drop the lasso for this. Able to bail out the Omni Knight. See a jump ball from Katsum. He certainly wants to try, but already off to the side. Fishman has been hooked over. BKB popped by Rezo. Will continue to stay on top of Katsumi, but Pure's in. Taken out Puppy. Both teams to lose the support. The stacks built up onto Katsumi. Will get caught by the Root Chrysalis to send in the illusions. The heal will come out, but not enough to save him. Katsumi goes down. Secret will be able to pick apart a couple of members of Entity.
Okay, very good turn for them here. Entity being a little deep, getting to catch people out, also premiering Rezo's BKB here in this fight where he actually does get to run around. And if Omni Knight isn't as close to his allies, which, you know, that can happen, you don't have the highest range on Grays. You're also playing into like there's hooks and casts that bounce around. So definitely nice job by Secret, showing some signs of life. And Rezo getting closer to this Blink Dagger. For now, I don't care too much about Chrysalis. As long as he's getting his farm up, that's good. He's doing his job. He will come out in a few minutes and give us the impact, but most importantly, they need this Blink on Rezo to play around the map and continuously start fights.
Look, get Pure involved in the action once more. I mean, and Puppy around the mid. Pretty much, yeah, as soon as Nisha sees them, they'll bat with the X mark. Doesn't want to mess around. He has got the full BKB now, Nisha.
I like Nisha's quick buy. What do you think?
I like to see the money being made.
He knows they need the late game.
I think that's...
But Secret are holding on nicely right now.
They're avoiding fights right now, and we are seeing Chrysalis. He's stepping up in the farm, and second highest on the net worth. They've definitely managed to calm it down to the level you can only imagine that they want to, and that they should be doing when they're trying to run a lineup at such a...
No, absolutely. Like right now, they're doing it. Yeah, they're playing their lineup as it's supposed to, especially when you cannot fight. Abuse the fact you have these Naga Illus running around, helping you. Bad Rider, he can do his thing with the boost of travel. As my holy base, everyone is leaving.
All right. Well, okay. I mean, I'm still in, you're still in. There's no Stormer, and Zayat, so... Looks like it's not a complete other thing. Maybe just everybody having a bit of lag, so go... I'm sure they'll be all back, Eddie.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Copium.
Hey, there we go. Stormer. Shout to the view. Just shout out to you boys and home. Zayats, enjoy their moment here. Personal DM. Oh, there's no... What?
Hey, you don't often get to do this, right?
No,
you get
really
to talk one-on-one
Yeah.
in an official game.
Offer for the one. Yeah, they could unpause. Oh, dude, let's go. Zayats and Stormer microing both of their squads. That would be something.
I'd say Stormstormer wins. This guy plays Visage.
He does. He's a bit of a micro man.
Yeah, he really is.
Like something. Love it. Without doubt, of course, worth mentioning, we have made it past the duration of game one, and it's still very, very close in terms of the numbers this one. Much more of a game on our hands this time round. back and forth and a little bit of on the edge of your seat gameplay, knowing who's going to take it.
Secret are, as we stated, recovering quite well. Rezo getting close to this blink. We'll see if Secret think that whether or not they're ready to fight, because first Roche was taken very early on in the game. The second one is respawning in 20 seconds, and Entity's draft take it really fast. So unless you're ready in the area, you will be punished because Roshan will fall too fast.
Entity.
Will they
Walls this
see
area.
it?
2 seconds. 1 second.
Here comes Toby. Toby.
He'll check it out.
Yep.
There we go. I know. Get the army in here with the creeps. Secret nowhere near in position to do anything about this one. The outpost also under control of Entity, so this will be another Roshan or Entity. I'll grab the Aegis. Give him a shard as well. Over to Pure. Yep, he'll take that. Pure very much ready to go here with the Ags, Manta style, and
It's
that
time to
Aegis.
go top for them. This shard on Morph as well is so strong. I've seen it a few times in the pubs lately. The stats alone are super valuable, and then the fact that you can shift in a stun is once again crazy. Secret, I think Crystallis might want to start looking to cut more waves. He's currently doing a great job at doing so mid and bottom, but if Entity keep pushing in the top lane, I feel like they could force back Secret into that area, because yeah, sure, Secret are controlling your mid and bottom, but you could go and poke top lane a bit.
Oh, for sure, and with a similar lineup as we saw from the last game, we know how quickly and effectively heroes can siege the high ground.
Radiant's
Let's see.
middle tower is under attack.
A hold of the creeps in the mid. Secret have started to back up on the defense. Still though, Crystallis able to find the ways to get out on the map, making good progress with the farm, keeping up with both Stormstormer and Pure this
Radiant's
game.
middle tower is under attack.
Surprised that they didn't dare to look and step up top, but I guess with the lanes they don't feel quite as good, so instead they're gonna look for a smoke around, as we have the whole
Oh.
team DCing once again.
Everyone's out.
How's Stormstormer saying
I was gonna
it, yo?
say,
What are
he's-
these guys?
Yeah, but something
see, I
about
see.
the internet that he's getting or something is, and Zayat's as well.
We're
What?
back.
I mean, I don't really understand computers or technology, but I guess there's some sort of routing situation where the players that are in the slots that Stormstormer and Zayats are in, they have some sort of VIP connection. Because they're not having any problems.
It's time to kick
Very
Zayats
popular.
out of that slot next game if you're Crystallis or Nisha, I think.
I mean, dude, there
the
actually might be some
prime time
science
connection.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the important slot. That's the one that seems to have the fewest issues for both teams, right? The second slot. That is the valuable slot. That's why Stormstorm gets his whole gets that one. Firing action.
We have found the criminal,
I
it's
see.
Bobby.
It apparently tends to misfire a bit, hits his own team as well. You know, happens.
I mean, you can't make it too obvious, right?
I see. Rezo and Toby to go. Ideas or
It's a hacker man in real life, so he knows the ins and outs.
Crash. What a peculiar one. Hey, same problem for Nisha. Rezo's blaming Crystallis here for the internet issues. We've had someone accuse Rezo, someone accused Puppy. We'll get to the bottom of this one. And now Puppy accusing Crystallis. So it's being pointed all around here.
Poor Crystallis.
Asking for help. Okay,
Nisha has yet to change his quick buy. He's still rocking the quad Midas.
I like
Don't
it.
blame him yet. Of course, that will get changed eventually.
Well, you never know. You never know. We've seen some late. We've seen late. Honestly, if there was a team that's picked up later Midases in the past, it has been, namely Puppy.
If he buys
Puppy's had
Midas,
games where he's bought Midas sort of mid.
true. You're absolutely correct. But if Nisha buys a Midas next, it means that the guy who's DDoSing them has logged into his account successfully to buy it for him. I hope they are. Unfortunate if they were not, as we talk about.
Nisha with the advice there. Just reconnect, lol. Smiley face,
Come on,
basically.
lol.
Come on, just reconnect. Viewers in.
It's a lot of gold on Stormstormer once this game does continue later. He's currently sitting on 4,300 gold. Likely aiming for this Blink Hex to give them some instant engage. Kataomi also picked up the Shard. So again, kind of a long-range gaming gonna come out from Entity, with the only one who's gonna sit in the front lines to hit the enemies and buildings or heroes with right clicks will be Pure on this Morphling, who's working on a Butterfly.
That is very nice. I mean, you do heroes that pack a bit of a right click on Naga Siren. They're not going to be looking to build any sort of forms of true strike. I guess sometimes with the Naga Siren you can go the later on. If that does come anywhere near the timing where Pure has the potential.
Yeah, Blathorn definitely your preferred choice on Naga later on, not only for True Strike, but also damage. So if we'll see a source of True Strike, it will definitely be that. But again, it's very often a type of matchup where you don't necessarily interact that much with the carries straight up. It's more so you're trying to kill the team around them. They do have bad riders, so later when Rezo gets towards these next items, it can be a really crucial point for them, because he needs like this one more snappy item to help him reach this Blink Lasso and then drag them out of range from Omni Knight. So this is why he's currently queuing up a Force Staff. But of course, we'll only get to see later when the game is back live.
Oh, we will. We'll see. Quick restart.
Let's play the win probability game. Please don't ruin me, production. I beg you. What do you think, Owen? What's the probability right now?
At the moment, I would give it.
I'm 7 years
I'll
old to
give it
leave.
a 68%.
Okay, I'll go with 74.
Let's have a look. Oh my goodness. Oh well, calm down. Let's give it an 86%. That is
I feel like this is not as accurate. Maybe, Gaben loves his Omni Knight. Well, I get this Heavenly Grace on me. I have Chen healing me. I can't lose, but there's definitely ways for Secret to win.
I guess it is Entity, and they are still yet to game. Not that algorithm takes into account that. I don't. But if you were going to take into account sort of Entity's run outside of this single, then 86% is probably not. But if you were just to look at this game alone and look at the farm that these heroes have, the fact that there is a pretty farm Naga Siren, well, very on par with Pure's farm, can never write that out.
No, absolutely not. The only thing is, so Secret have something that is going to be harder to execute in terms of they need to land like the Blink Lasso into an insta-kill without the Fissure stopping something or without Omni dispelling it. Meaning if this does get messed up, you might just lose a Rax on the back of that, whereas Entity have a little more room for error with their draft and the position that they're in the game. So perhaps that also weighs in a little bit with the win probability. But if you're Secret here, they've now had plenty of time to talk about how to get back into the game. They've already done a good job at that, and now they've also had more time, and now they have more items to talk about how to take the future fights, which will be coming their way. There's an Aegis on Entity. The game has been paused. Entity are strong. They're going to look to speed up the game now.
All right, here we go. They can make off the back of this smoke. They're heading in the direction of Chrysalis. having a pretty good idea of where Crystallis wants to be farming. Indeed, they'll find him. In they go with the jump. They knew exactly where to find this Naga Siren.
Good read by them with the map, kind of deciding to not commit to the top thing. Once you don't commit there, you want to smoke. It's not there. Mass TPing on Rezo, who's currently fire flying around. This is a good move by Entity. Primarily, this is done in games where you want to maintain map control. You take over top, you can't really go high ground yet though, so you smoke to the other side. You push in mid, they push in their safe in as they've done, and now they mass TP back up to where they came from to maintain lane control and also, you know, keep their jungle instead of letting Secret push it out much more. So very nice map movement right now from Entity.
Get out of this 2 minutes of Aegis. Back in action, Crystallis. What's that bottom area of the map? Keeping the pressure in on mid. That butterfly will be done for the next fight. Talent invasion on its way over. How much of a difference this makes. Secret's ability to threaten the morph. The evasion now online at early moments, 28 minutes in.
Dire's middle tower is
Answer
under
from
attack.
Secret, of course, at this stage with the items they have.
Dire's
Good old
middle
skeleton
tower
creep,
has fallen.
giving Pure even more damage. Top lane, Rezo.
The setup will be forced to BKB. Tries to turn. Look for a last opportunity. Will find Fishmash. Puppy hold back Pure for now with the penalizing cast, but Pure still able to wait for him and aggressively wants to use his Aegis to his full potential here, jumping up to the high ground. Naga Siren starts to get some illusions going himself. Puppy, the Death Warper now has to back away. Damage to the tower begins here from Entity. They'll start their push. Look successful. Science will find the ground, but Puppy is going to be safe for now. Knight's able to grab him into a safe distance. Crystallis will begin his own attempt to D-push against Entity. 50 seconds on Pure's Aegis. Damage being done though, down to half HP. Trying their best to stall this, but there's the catch. The Fisher there, straight into the burst that Pure can offer. Takes out Resolution. He's now down for 45. No buyback on the bat. The block took there, Zayat. Able to find a round Puppy. Fortification comes out.
I don't see how they can defend. Let's see if they get to use their spells in a great manner, but Rezo is dead. Pure.
The Voodoo Switcheroo coming to play for the Sunstrike and the Fisher. It was waiting for Puppy as soon as he comes out of the Voodoo Switcheroo. It's another one dead on Secret.
Dire's structures are
Entity. Very, very tough for Secret to stop it. Fortification. The Aegis gone, but that will mean Pure back up to full HP, full mana. He's still ready to play. So hard for them to get any sort of setup or catch on this Morphling as Pure round finishes off the melee round. Still back off a little bit now. The Secret pretty much got everyone back in play, and Secret will smoke up here in an attempt to get a catch on the chase. Rooted by Pure, continues to kite and control the Naga Siren from a distance. Rezo tries to get in, but very far up in comparison to the rest of his team, and gets completely annihilated.
Yeah, I must point out that earlier in this game I was a dumbass. I have not seen this Morph Axe against Naga yet. It's actually incredible. So we're already aware of the fact how many buffs there are to Morphling in this game, right, from his team. But now he made another one for himself against the Naga. He gets the Illus, he gets the net, he steals 20% Agi, and 70 attack speed.
70 attack speed. So he's sort of sending out these illusions. I mean, he's just always going to be the better Naga Siren in this game, in these fights, it feels.
Yeah, he's stealing 40 agility and 70 attack speed. So that's 110 attack speed that he gets that Naga's missing. And Naga's already not the Naga lags timings in games, and he's already behind. It's like Naga's playing without, like, he has one less item. Basically, this butterfly, it doesn't exist in Naga's inventory when Pure ultis him. So yeah, this Morphling build with the heroes around him is looking damn strong.
Blessings.
Man, how do you counter this? How do you deal with this? And what do you do if you're the Naga Siren? Do you just have to suffer in these fights?
I guess you can't do much about it, because from what I can understand right now, even when he ultis, as he does an X-Mark on Nisha, even when he ultis Illus, it affects the main hero, unless I'm wrong. Yes, we have the lasso. Not sure.
Got enough burst to take down Pure. Dismember as well, but the fish is there to help him out. Pure turns away towards Chris's counter army, just gets him with the jump though, blows off Zeiss with the Echo Slam. Nisha has to put the BKB in back off. Pumping will find a bit of safety for now under the Voodoo switcheroo. Nisha getting chased out though, has to step to the side, tries to turn back in, but he gets caught by the fish. That's how they finishes off the kill. Crystal is surrounded by Entity. Entity, they've not lost a single hero in this fight. A secret. They'll lose 3. Zayat scores brought back. It looks like he's shortly going to die a second time in this team fight. As we might be getting close to the end on this one again, Kezu.
I think we are. There's an Alacrity Morphling hitting your tier 4s as GG is called.
Well, they lasted 10 minutes longer than in game 1, but the ending just as brutal here from Entity. As 21-9, 33 minutes up, they're now up 2-0 in this best of 5, and they continue to look remarkable doing so, Kezu. They just have not faltered at all so far in this entire run, and they are now just 1 win.
Хитман это же Чен. Реально, это...
Да.
Скоро надо... Нет.
Подождите.
Team Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Team Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to pick. Dire team
Chen.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to pick.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Western Europe qualifiers. We're currently 2 games into the best of 5 between Team Secret and Entity in this grand final. Entity, of course, up 2-0 right now against Team Secret. Game 3 draft has begun. We'll get it up on your screens. And guess who? We are definitely seeing Secret breaking down and taking away more from the draft. The Entity's kind of got away with the 2 times so far. It goes the same from game 1 to game 2 in Entity's lineup. Yeah, they continue to break into it. As you know, Secret very much taking a page out of their book. They'll themselves get the Invoker and the Chen this time. Entity, they will, however, get still a very strong opening because of this. Nyx DP.
Yeah, so Secret changed it up a little bit. They not only decided to take first pick so that they can get their hands on a Enigma, Chen, or Undying. So that's how they end up with their Chen. Entity followed up with, well, one of their openings from 6-7 is always Nyx +1. So in this case, it's going to be Nyx plus DP. DP just a solid hero, can go mid, can go off lane. Probably lane's okay into Chen 2, you just heal too much even from the creeps, and also the Nyx Assassin can protect the DP from a potential Bad Rider pick, and then Secret are like, sure, you guys can play Chen Invoker, then sure as hell we can do too, so they go for the Invoker, traditionally a good hero against Death Prophet, and already a good setup for Team Secret to play a similar style to what Entity had in these last games, where if you're gonna have a carry down the road, he's gonna be really strong.
Absolutely. Let's see.
10 seconds
Works out better for Secret. Very much seen how well Entity do with this sort of opening. How easy is it? Phase bans will be here, looking at both sides. I mean, for Entity, when they do go down this sort of Nyx route, what does this usually tell you for rest of their lineup? I mean, is there a chance for a 3rd game in a row? If you get his hands on the Morphling, or do you imagine that we'll see something different this game?
Team Secrets turn
It's
to
very
battle.
likely that we'll see something different in this game. A lot of the times when you have Death Prophet, you want more heroes that help the Death Prophet to like take the fight, where like just heroes that help him out, heroes that can go in for him. A lot of these carries that jump in for you, something like a Faceless Void, of course, is going to be banned.
10
This time
seconds
around, there's
remaining.
also a way where Entity could look at a Ancient Apparition
5
type
seconds
hero because they're
remaining.
playing against Chen. I saw that that was their answer to, I think, a Death Prophet or an Alchemist in a game prior. And then again, you have the Nyx AA. It's actually a very cool support combo. And so for now, the Morphling, it's not out of the question, but it has more to do with the upcoming picks of Team Secret.
See if they want to ban out another carry from Pure here. This next ban. Away the Pudge. Another one of those front-lining heroes that
Dire
enables
team
the
ban.
survive through the team fights. They'll respect the morph. So either way, we will get to see Pure play something different this game.
Yeah.
They will be off the back of, Secret sort of straight up terror for Tangel on the hit. He has had 2 games where he's had free farm and they just haven't been able to slow him
10
down.
seconds remaining.
Well, let's see if that will change in this game, because it looks as if they will have counter pick again, as Entity are playing for second pick. Likely that Entity here pick like some AA, Jakiro. Okay, Visage, cool. I'm surprised that they're going for this one already here. This again, I'm not sure if they were the team who did that the other day to then give themselves a better support pick later. I actually think that was Secret. So instead, they're just happy here with their Visage. They
10
want it.
seconds
They want it now.
remaining.
And they're gonna pick it up for themselves.
Yep.
5 seconds
A
remaining.
flexibility between sort of the Visage and the DP going mid and off lane, or do you
Team
think it's
Secrets
pretty set in
turn
stone?
to pick.
There's definitely flexibility between the two. The only small thing I see with the 2 heroes is that when you do pick them this early with only seeing 2 heroes, they share similar problems. So they get countered by quote-unquote similar heroes. But
10
for them, there's
seconds
flexibility between the 2 heroes. They also like them a lot on their players. So again,
5
I think they're
seconds
they're
remaining.
sticking to their comfort. So it's good for them.
Bloodseeker. Imagine for this game. Or their second support with it. Or solid for the off lane.
I guess they're more likely to pick Zayat's hero here. I could definitely see a hero like Lycan being good. I don't really see many other offlane picks here being good for Secret at this stage. So I think you're just more likely to pick Zayat's as potentially a pulse 4 range hero that just is going to help enable resolutions pick later in the game.
Dire team pick.
It's going to be the Tiny.
Okay. Have you been impressed with Tiny's potential as a hero still in this qualifiers?
I think Tiny is still just
10
a
seconds
solid
remaining.
hero. I would say the hero's worse than its counterparts with
5
Nyx,
seconds
Shaker,
remaining.
and so on. But, you know, if those are not in the pool and you're just looking for someone who
Team
can
Secrets
body a
turn
little
to
bit in the
battle.
lane and then also look to roam around, I think Tiny can be very good.
Of course, be the Shadow Fiend that he had had a pretty ridiculous game with it earlier in the run this qualifiers.
10
Something that we've
seconds
seen other
remaining.
teams try to emulate, but never to the level that Pure's
5
been able to
seconds
farm on it.
remaining.
Yeah, this SF. So I personally like SF against Bloodseeker. The
Dire
type of
team
carries you
back.
want to play against Bloodseeker are the ones that, if you get ruptured, and overall you just want to stand your ground, right? SF is not going to be
Secrets
someone that's
turn
going
to
to run
battle.
away from you in the fight when he gets ruptured. He's going to pop his BKB and Requiem and then just hit you with a lot of right-click damage. Also, once again, Visage will most likely be played with a Wraith Pack Vlads, which works really well with these range carries. So I think this SF pick by Entity is very good. They're going to look to protect
10
it here with
seconds
their
remaining.
bans to make sure that Secret don't get to really shut down his early game. So
5
that's why we
seconds
see
remaining.
these more so ranged offlaners being banned that you can pair with Tiny and then maybe they can take over the lane.
A ban here for Secret. They are to drop this game, maybe their final ban of the qualifiers. Did the way of a Necrophos. So, I guess, expecting that this could be DP support from Entity. Do you think there was a chance of that?
I
10 seconds
guess there could
remaining.
be. I don't know if they have played it yet. DP plus 5 is definitely
5
okay.
seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be too surprised if we see it. And I guess DP doesn't lane incredibly well into Invoker. Therefore, they will be pretty happy with Nyx, Visage in the offlane, and then maybe they pick
Turn to pick.
a new mid against the Invoker. As I do take out the Lycan, I think it's a good ban, as we mentioned a little bit earlier. They don't really have too many heroes that deal with summons very well, if at all.
One get hit.
10 seconds remaining.
Left in.
5
Or in.
seconds remaining.
It's not. This pick is not easy. You have a melee 4 and you're laning against SF carry. SF in the safe lane is surprisingly strong off a laner. I'm not sure how many range heroes you can fit in here. It might just be a melee who gives you some team fight. Yeah, Pango I think is a. It's not gonna do too well in the lane unless they really outlane Entity here, but it gives them. I feel like Secret have a lot more going on for them this time, where they can help each other, they can fight together,
10
and they're just making
seconds
sure
remaining.
that later in the game they don't need to run away, but that they can take the fight to Entity.
5 seconds remaining.
See. Final pick. Give us some clarity on whereabouts they want to be running each of the heroes. Still definite potential for some port switch up. Versatile teams.
I could see a. If they pick a support, I feel like there's actually a chance that they would pick Winter Wyvern. It has good combos. Curse is good against Pango and Chen. It does make the DP cores game a bit better if you do decide to run there. I feel like DP core is not that good unless you're protected in this game. The other option is that they're going for mid, which I can't see just yet. So they're just going to go for a chill Jakiro. That should be Fishman's hero. I feel like the biggest purpose of this hero is to kind of abuse this double melee offlane you have here from Team Secret, where Fishman will have a very nice time and he will enable Pure in the lane, and he gives a lot of follow-up damage into the Nyx Assassin later in the game.
Absolutely. From those two supports, well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The drafts have been Game 3, Team Secret versus Entity. And sort of what are your overall feelings? You know, when you look at this, do you kind of feel that Secret have given themselves a bit of a better chance than we've seen them end up having in their Game 1 and Game 2 performances against Entity?
Yeah, I feel like this is the closest draft, or the closest chance that I would give Secret from these 3 games that we have seen. Nisha should do very well mid against Visage, as far as I'm concerned. Invoker is very good in this matchup. Bloodseeker Chen should also be doing very well top. Sure, then you have the tiny Pango. They won't do that well in their lane, but Pango is a hero that later with levels you can do a lot. And this is a very good Pangolier game. So eyes on Rezo to help his team a bit, and for Secret to strike back in this game a little bit.
All right, yeah, because I think a lot of us, we want to see some more Dota 2 here tonight.
5 games.
You know,
that's what I want.
At the moment, with everything that's happened so far in this qualifiers, it's definitely pointing in the other direction. The Entity will continue their streak and get the clean sweep here. We'll find out. The game is beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hop you into the action as we find out if Entity can take this final game that they require to secure the spot of TI of Secret. Be able to trip them up and make them fight for it and prolong the series.
I was looking if there could be something with the lanes, but I think we'll just have default lanes from the 2 teams. There's a way where if you want to protect the DP a bit more, you could put the Jakiro with him against the Chen, but I feel like they will not be doing that. I think they will secure Pure's early game with the SF laning with the Jakiro. As for now, we have Entity with a very late 5-man smoke, which is pretty interesting. It's going to allow them to go deeper into the woods here.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, this ward down. Secret, so fully aware of Entity's attempts to make the moves around here. Out of range there at that D ward. Grab the vision.
The battle begins.
So, you know, we've had 2 games where Pure set up with a very, very good laning situation. It's going to be another one of them, or is there a chance the Secret can slow him down this time at the beginning?
I feel like he's going to have a good game again, at least for the first few minutes. He should. I would say there is definitely some surprise factor in this game because he has an Exort Invoker mid who should be doing okay. So that could actually be the difference maker in the top lane. And maybe if Zayas gets a couple levels, let's say he gets level 3, because that's what he's going to need now to have avatars. There's some play potential on the SF. I would expect Pure to have a very good early game, unless he falls to 1 or 2 surprise Sunstrike kills.
Shred of progression here from the 2 of them. Running down Resolution and
goodness.
getting the kill as well. Pure first blood. The Razors do the job. Rezo gets taken down and gonna be able to turn over towards Zeiss as well. Got the mana for 1 raise, so when this top lane not off to a bad start at all here for Entity with that first blood.
Yeah, not at all. You're playing 2 heroes that will use all their mana. They secure first blood, and Pure instantly buys the Ring of Basilius for him and Fishman, which is going to be great, not only in the lane for him, but for his ally and for him throughout the game as well. So I really like what they did there. And especially when you skill tree throw level 1, you do not want to like lose the lane straight up. You're skilling this spell on Tiny literally to help you in the lane a little bit, as opposed to pulling waves. So a little bit of a misstep. Nice punish by Entity there.
Like a very terrifying lane and wave to step up to. It's all if you're Secret. Way that Pure maintains his position. Now have that flow of mana coming in with the ring. Much more ability to spam out against Rezo and Zayats, the 2 melees that continue to suffer in this matchup.
At least what's good for Secret is, well, it is to be expected for you to lose this lane. You know, of course, giving away a kill is never great, but it does happen. Secret should be aiming to do well in the mid lane, which Nisha, I wouldn't expect anything else from him. And then bottom lane, Bloodseeker Chen, they should be slightly winning bottom too. So maybe with some momentum there, you can turn stuff around later, as we have a nice toss back up top just to get some damage on Pure. Maybe not just some damage.
And Fishman's going to be here. Has got the stick charge. Managed to step far enough back south of the ready as well. Pure's more than fine. So the wave pushing into. So good attempt there from Resolution to bring him down low, but at the end of it all, Pure won't care too much.
Yeah, overall, nice play by Secret. Anytime you get to go for a play like this, especially when you have Bloodseeker in your team, it will help his lane, at least indirectly a little bit, give him some more move speed around. Also, if they can do this a little bit over and over to get people low, it will give them Sunstrike opportunities, as we have another toss back by Zayas up top.
Gotta be a bit careful now. These are level 2 raises. Certainly hurt. That's very far at the ready. He does want to dive in, and he steps in, gets in range for that close range raise to finish off another kill in this top lane.
They're just playing their heroes very well. I feel like they're staggering their spells nicely. They keep chasing with the slows when they can. And for Secret, I think Zaya's just gonna return to this top lane, get closer to your level 3, because yeah, you have received these steps and so on, but Pure, at least for the time being, he's out of resources. He's kind of in the HP threshold where he can definitely die to a spell combo plus Sunstrike, so it's not like this lane is completely over. You still have things to play for. I'll say top back Fisherman for the 800th time.
Can finish him off this time, and both Fishman and Pure very low. Situations where spells were already used and Secret nothing else to quite finish off the attempts at a kill.
Yeah, they're definitely missing this avalanche at this point, but Zayas will be able to get in a moment. Bottom lane, Toby.
That's
Nice
nice.
body blocks.
Blocks here from Puppey. And now in return, Katomi will be able to block off Chrysalis. Make sure that he can't chase down the kill. Still nobody to fall on the side of Entity in this opening few minutes.
A lot of action, at least for now, in this game, especially coming from the top lane. Mid lane, again, just like most of the other mid lanes we've seen so far. More so on the chill side. They're just gonna farm. Visage is gonna be happy if he gets to level 6 the best he can. He's definitely not supposed to ever kill the Invoker or outfarm him in any shape or form. So, of course, Nisha for now is winning this lane. Stormstormer trying to hold on the best he can. He will hit 6 in about a minute or so, which is an okay timing.
Early days, but top. So, slowed. The
Nice
razors are coming in. The avalanche will be there in time. Stop Keo from having the chance of running down Rezo. Range for a set of close range razors. Incredibly hard for these two secret to step close.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard. If SF isn't already, like, if Pure isn't already harassed down a little bit, it's really hard for them to run up, especially if he has mana, which he does. He basically has mana for 3 razors at all times, so aggressing the top lane is pretty hard. Maybe Xayah should soon look to potentially look at mid if Nisha can create an opportunity where Stormstormer isn't on full HP. Maybe he can make plays there. Other than that, it's just gonna be a farming game for now. Try to get Rezo his levels, maybe SF out of position.
Again, try and make a move for Pure. At this early point. Treads, a bit of stats, not the damage from these builders outside. Fishman. Let's set up with the slow. Close to the tower, Pure doesn't want to dive. I swear. In that mid lane, you know, you look towards Nisha. Secret. Had games in the past where his Invoker has carried them above all. Definitely gonna have to be one of those. He's the one. The hottest start at the moment in the lanes. Crystal's close behind him. Net worth of the beginning from the setup. We'll see bottom. Out just in time there. Threatened by the block right.
Is under attack.
They get to force him to TP out. Definitely good for Secret. Nice getaway by Toby at the same time. Now, when you are Invoker like this, you would love to have any sort of Sunstrike plays on your side lanes, but it's not too easy, right? Your safe lane, your Chen Bloodseeker, they don't really set it up all too well. Your top lane is, well, struggling to say the least. That's a nice way of putting it. And this mid-tier Visage, he's at full HP for now, so it's also not the easiest play to go for. So I feel like right out the game could feel a little awkward for Secret, at least for the next 1 or 2 minutes until Puppey gets some more levels or creeps and Pango gets his role. I think that's when they can really start to combine the heroes together in a more nicer manner than right now.
Get done around this mid lane. Zayats will step up. I mean, 3 heroes ready to deal with him. Puppey TP's over, but Zayats is already dead in the river. Maybe they can get the next assassin return. Katomi pops the fairy fire. That's enough to save him. He's out of there. Nisha just ends up getting focused down by Stormstormer and the Familiars. The whole move results in a double kill. The Stormstormer on the Visage.
Yeah, Zayas was trying to run around the side, get a D-ward off, but Fishman came over mid to go and help with the active rune. Stormstormer, now that he's such high level, it's very hard to get out of these, you know, slows.
What have we here?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Visibility.
Resolution tem rolamento, nível 7, mas ainda não utiliza. Fica ali só.
Amazing what you'll find laying around.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Penance.
Но лезут немного не туда. Доставит агрессивный опс, и сейчас будет
Заметил
выход.
его Пьюр, заметил Пьюр Кристаллиса. Скоро откатится Вендетта у Никса и будет искать. Чуть-чуть.
Dire's structures are fortified.
感觉这个 Crystal 没有什么主观。
Da Entry, rotação em cima do HC da Secret. Que crescia bem, tá? Mas é interrompido.
Dire are scanning. Radiant's middle tower has been denied. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
Onto
bottom
Pure.
tower is under attack.
Certainly just hangs back. The Requiem will be used to push back here. Pure, seeing if he can step in range to set any razors up. But the case, they'll lose Fishman. Pure just going untouched. Not have the damage or the means to set up for a play onto this SF at this stage.
Okay, so yet again, so what Entity did really well there earlier, so they forced all of Secret to like stay around mid, right, with the constant mid pressure. As soon as they realized, okay, Secret aren't leaving this area, the only way my Visage will take mid tower is if we go somewhere else. So not only do they abuse Secret stacking mid by smoking bottom and killing the carry, they also then force Secret to use some heroes on the bottom lane, which then also afterwards allowed Visage to take the mid tower. So Entity in the last 2 minutes definitely got a lot done on the map, and also Pure's item build, I like it a lot. It's gonna come, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with why they pick this type of carry, the one who's gonna stand his ground later, even if he gets ruptured, even if there's a Kango rolling. Mask of Madness, Dragonlance into BKB, massive amount of damage, massive amount of life steal to fight into the rupture.
is under
Again,
attack.
around this 14-minute mark. Huge amount of kills, 5-2. And see what the overall gold lead is a similar state of the game that we did have the first two of these series being. Again, sign of things to come. Top lane. Set up towards Puppy. We'll see. Just crossing over. Tomi continues to try and chase them out. That's the full 5-man sequence. They'll look to turn it. Get the toss on towards Toby. Jonathan's trying to keep him alive, but the damage is done. Secret will be able to strike, get the 2 kills. Look for more of the pressure the tier 1 tower. Same time down bottom, Pure will find the trade. He takes down a tower on his own.
Well played by Secret. Coming in together with, you know, using their heroes together, playing their lineup very well. They go top, they counterplay. There was a great rupture into tossback from Xayah. It's got like half HP off the DP into some follow-up spell from Invoker. Nice roll by Rezo with a great silence by Crystallis. And yeah, right now, if they go together and use their spells off of the back from Tango, their team fight is very good. And Rezo is rushing this Blink Dagger. He wants to make sure that Nisha and Crystallis have all the space they need, as for now they're eyeing Katomi in the mid lane. Entity TP'd a lot of the heroes into mid, and they want to retake their own jungle right now.
Focus. Stop. Pure is just a ridiculous amount of space. Seeing the CS alone, well, 176 CS is 16 minutes in. Next up on the list is Crystallis. Happens at 55 behind, plus. Now the distance between the amount that these carries are getting out of this map, it's looking pretty scary for Secret. Pure, 600 gold, BKB is going to be done. He's going to be at that point that you've talked about already, where he will be able to just stand there in the fights, and it's going to be incredibly hard for Secret to do much about him.
Yeah, not only that, he's gonna slap this Pango in his role. Like, that's also what you really don't like as Pango, when some dude just sits there during your role and starts whacking away at you. And Pure definitely will be able to do that. The one good thing for Secret is, at least for now, SF is the only really scary hero. DP is still a little bit away from his BKB, 1200 gold. Visage wants his Ags. I really like the Stormstormer optic to go for drums. Again, it allows him to be stronger as 4. And also, once Pure does have this BKB, he makes him even stronger. I feel like they play towards these timings very well. As bottom, Xayah is looking for a play on Pure. Rainbow TPs.
Immediately.
Slightly missed toss.
Backups coming in for Pure. Zayat, who will go for the TP out in the trees, but Katomi's going to be able to find him with the angle. The stun.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They know how important it is to keep Pure alive there.
You can tell that they treat this man as their king for the right reasons. This man is a monster. You want to protect him, but even so, they see Nisha on this river.
Katomi's going to step up and get the opening stun. Into the ice bomb, follow up silence. That's Nisha taken down, and Pure's going to be the one that steps over and gets the last hit on him. He was not ready for that at all there, Nisha. Just didn't expect Entity to make that move over towards him. Gets caught out.
Yeah, he must have even seen them run through this ward that Xayah's played in the bottom right corner of the map, but I guess he just didn't know they had this great high ground ward that Katomi placed earlier. They run over, they end up just, moving over, killing Nisha. 2 kind of big kills for them. Nice job by Stormstormer to continue staying in the top lane. Meanwhile, and the next objective of this game is gonna be the first Roche very soon. Crystallis is gonna have his BKB. He will feel ready to fight. Rezo has his blink. He's getting close to the shard. So basically, a lot of the cores are finishing their timings, and both teams are strong enough to fight into each other. And that's very often where you see both teams play around Roche.
Times that with Secret try and group up and maybe an attempt to go for Pure. He's always a step ahead. Well out of harm's way. The butterfly next after the BKB. See Fishman get caught. Zayat's able to get the catch. Sets up for Crystallis to pick the kill up.
Is mine.
Pure is going for the butterfly build, which is going to help him a lot against Crystallis, and it's going to help him to stand his ground and right click. So I feel like Secret still have a couple of windows, even if he does go Butterfly, because Secret have a lot of initiation with magic damage and a Sunstrike to follow. So like if Zayas gets to this Blink, which is still going to be a little bit away, it's 1,000 gold. But if they get a double initiation on the SF with like a roll into combo and Sunstrike, I could definitely see Pure still go down from full to 0. So even though the Shadow Fiend is getting very fat in this game at a tremendous rate of net worth, Secret will still have a good way of fighting into them if they identify what they have to do.
He has eyes on Rezo. We'll need a +1 if they want to try for an attempt on him. Does have Crystallis behind.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Rezo's gonna get tripped up. Here he is. Comes in with the shield crash, but Katomi waiting in the shadows with the spike carapace. Sets up for them to be able to take down another kill. Ti starting to build up that scary bit of early gold lead. 8 to 5, 3k advantage.
Yep, level 2 Exo, double BKBs, Aghanim's Visage. This would be a great time for them to go Roche. And as I was saying, Secret are kind of ready to fight, but with your Pangolier being dead, even if he's the lowest net worth core in the game, he's your most valuable teamfight hero. So it's, again, the situation where Entity go Roche and your best bet is to not fight.
Aegis on Pure. And once again, ridiculous levels of farm this early on in the game. If he wants to, of course, disassemble his Mask of Madness, going to be about 300 gold off from having the completed Butterfly on top of the BKB and Dragon Launcher. 21 minutes in.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe he should squeeze in like a semi-HP item, like a Skadi or whatever, but I'm wrong. His build is by far the best. Every single item he's bought this game is perfect. He will split his Mask of Madness into Butterfly with the Aegis. They're very likely now looking to just get the lanes in a good position, and then towards like the 3 to 2 minute mark on the Aegis, run down a lane and either, once again, same situation as in the last games. Run down a lane, you force it tier 2. If you see Secret will not fight you, you can already smoke the rest of your heroes and run at them on the map. Because again, it's not as easy for Secret to fight. Now that they have Aegis, their kill condition of killing SF is gone. Sure, they can kill him once, but then when he respawns with Aegis, they will all die. So, change of plans. It's either split push or you kill his team.
Haste.
Up around the tier 2 here, Secret. I can't
Nice, son.
Oh my goodness, he's in with the angle, gets the start of the turn. There will be a tornado to stop the familiars from finding the follow-up. And Roche out to Stormstormer, looks to back away, but Resolution's able to jump forward with the Rolling Thunder. Sunstrike coming down onto Stormstormer, but now he's actually pushed out to the side. He can step away, he'll get out. Crystallis will manage to bring down Fishman. Can he get more from this? He'll turn back into towards Stormstormer, trying to chase down his Visage here with the BKB, will manage to finish him. So a couple of kills in this fight for Crystallis. Overall, 3 dead on Entity. Turn towards Toby, but he still has the BKB at the ready. Secret able to find an angle that they're able to fight into Entity that time round and enable Crystallis to stay on top of the targets, get the kills, and face no sort of return fire from Entity as a team.
Yeah, nice strike back there by Secret. Entity had a nice stun. There's a bit of trouble. Does get silenced. Yeah, he's gone.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
As quickly as they did find that fight, immediately losing a core.
Yeah, they really wanted this mid tower. As now Fishman leading the charge into the Radiant jungle.
He's stepping in on this. This seems incredibly risky on it. And there's any real fight for him to get started. But he ended up going offering his life as well. Cleans up another 6-0-1.
Yeah, the reason why Secret could take the fight earlier was that Pure was still bottom. He was very far away from the initial fight, as we can see here. He has to TP mid. It was a good stun by Katomi, but his team isn't really that close by. And then Crystallis, Alacrity, Rupture. He's chasing Stormstormer 4 days with a nice roll by Rezo.
Taking quite a bit of time to get the last few hits in onto Stormstormer, but was successful.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I doubt do about this here, Secret. They're losing their tier 2 in the mid. The
Radiant's
Pure
middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower
considering
has
to
fallen.
go in, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is fallen. Dire are scanning. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A rolling stone.
Dire are scanning.
Please die. As you
É a shotgun da destruição.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
My thrift rewarded. Repent.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Haste.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Repent. Regeneration. A rolling stone. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Thank you, my beauties.
judged lacking.
Not bad, not bad. Secret are definitely doing the right things right now. They're poking more and more into the right direction. They're putting the SF already in this territory where he has to be scared, and I believe that Chrysalis he's queuing up the perfect items. We already talked about the MKB, and then there's going to be the Blink next. If they can connect their initiations with the Rupture and then the Blink on top of Pure, if you get to take him out, he's everything for the Dire lineup. And they don't really have saves. There's no Omni Knight this time around with a Grace or a Guardian Angel. So Entity definitely want to keep up the tempo that they have in the game right now. And I believe the third row is just going to be the real turning point in this game.
That coming up soon, 30 seconds, and we'll see how long spawn time they'll be on the Roshan. Secret, out of doubt, wanting to get themselves in position. Sure that this does.
Easiest money of my life! Goodness gracious, Papa Ball!
Dire are scanning. is under attack.
等一下，
泥下，泥下。
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.